leading-edge real estate closing, title, settlement, and personal injury and litigation law firm. Our clients trust us to provide the most comprehensive real estate closing and litigation services in Massachusetts. Our full network of closing and settlement attorneys, agencies, and litigators have expanded throughout New England and beyond. We deliver on that trust and reliance by offering the best professional prompt assistance, advanced technology, and state-of-the-art closing services in the real estate law and litigation business today. Our commitment to excellence, honest reputation, and tradition of aggressive representation to provide quality legal services is what we will continue to demonstrate at Sync Law. We believe and will prove that successfully addressing client needs requires more than just knowledge of the law. It requires a mastery of good representation and an attitude to finalize every transaction to my client's satisfaction. Live life to the fullest and let us Sync Law.
At Buzzards Bay and Hyannis train stations.
Bottom five up next. It's 7-0 Brewster, and taking you the rest of the way through this broadcast, it is the one, the only Ethan Eibe.
Thank you very much, Kyle Marchak. As we return here to Spillane Field, it has not been the Wareham Gatemen's night. A 7-0 Brewster advantage and a new arm on the mound now for the Whitecaps. It is Kellen Oakes.
30 seconds.
Gatemen have 8, 9, and 1 due up here in the fifth. It is Eli Putnam to get things going. He'll be followed by Gio Cueto and Johan Desero. Just 3 hits today for the Gatemen and 11 for Brewster. It has been the home run ball that has proven to be the difference. A 2-run shot for Ryder Helfrich, his 8th of the season, ties him right atop the league leaderboard. Daniel Cuvée as well teeing off, and Drew Farreau added a 3-run shot in the 4th inning. Farrow's might not have been as far as the first 2, but probably the most damage. And without that, it's only a 4-0 game.
Yeah, it's been an inauspicious start for the pitching staff. A staff that usually doesn't give up big flies, but 3 today.
Kellen Oakes out of Oregon State delivers a strike to Putnam.
Can't hit. Can't find barrels.
Still just the second time through the order for the Gatemen. Putnam 1 for 1, singled up the middle, back in the 3rd. Tapper up the middle, charging in the shortstop Farreau, and the throw in time, 1 gone.
Just hasn't been their day. Not hitting the ball as well. And it really can just be a feel thing sometimes. Sometimes a team comes out and they're just not playing to the best of their abilities.
A lot of lucky ones today for Brewster. Not considering the home runs, but just in general. Check swing rollers that find no man's land, little pop flies or cue shots. Anything that could has gone Brewster's way tonight as Gio Cueto takes a strike.
What is that, Murph's Law?
It's Murph Gray's Law.
Murph Gray's Law.
Cueto watches. It's 1-1. He walked back in the 3rd inning, his first trip to the plate.
Like I haven't already.
Drives this one in the air to right center field. Chasing after it, Diamez Ross in the gap, and he hauls it in. Out number 2. Looked dangerous off the bat for Cueto.
Good swing, Cueto.
Well, he got all of that. Wind knocks it down.
Oakes just wrapped up his freshman year as a Beaver. 18 games for Oregon State. Here's Johan Desero. Nobody aboard and 2 gone. First pitch, foul up the right side.
Someone hit him with the
4 games this year for the right-hander. 5 earned runs allowed over 7 innings. Looking for a relatively quick bottom half of the 5th inning. The 0-1. Cut on and missed. Late on it. Desero singled to lead off the Gatemen's at-bats in the 1st. Since then, 1 for 2. The no-ball 2-strike delivery is once again swung on and missed. So a 1-2-3 frame for Oaks. And the Gatemen go down quietly here in the 5th inning. On to the 6th from Spillane. 7-0 Whitecaps on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
Jesse Simmons.
I'm Sam White.
And this is Catching Up with the Gatemen. All right, Mr. Sam White.
Yes, sir.
West Virginia Mountaineers catcher infielder. It's good to have you today. Thank you for jumping on with me.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
And so you had the chance to play for the Canadian Junior National Team.
I did.
Tell me a little bit about that, and you know, being able to represent your country and where your hometown, not only in your country but now in the U.S. at a Power 5 school and here in the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the biggest honor I've ever had. I mean, representing Canada, I played Team USA, played Team Japan, Chinese Taipei, all that stuff. And I mean, like, that's the biggest honor you can have. I mean, every rep that I put in, you know, that was basically for my country.
Hockey.
Yes.
Was that your first love before baseball? You got drafted at one point, had a chance to maybe take a pro hockey career and go that way, but now you're at baseball. What was that like? And give me a little something about that hockey.
Yeah, I mean, hockey, like, that's where I met kind of my lifelong friends. I mean,
yeah,
like, obviously growing up in Canada, hockey is the sport that everyone plays. It was my first love. I mean, I started playing when I was 5 or 6 years old, like a couple years before I started playing baseball. And yeah, up until I was probably 13 or 14 years old, I was gonna go to the NHL, and that's what that's what I would tell myself.
New arm for the Wareham Gatemen as we go to the top of the 6th inning. It is Point Loma Nazarenes. Matthew Maloney, right-hander, takes over for his 3rd appearance of the season. Just an inning and a 3rd under his belt as a Gateman. A couple earned runs allowed. He is the 2nd reliever out of the pen. Takes over for Sam Meddard after a good couple of innings from him. This game was started by Cole Lehman, and the Whitecaps jumped all over him in his 3 innings. A couple home runs, made it 4-0 by the 3rd, and then Meddard allowed a 3-run shot to Drew Farreau, and that's where we stand, a 7-0 lead. And meanwhile, the Gatemen bats have been just as quiet.
Yeah, just not their day. Only 3 hits, 1 extra base hit from Chapman, but they can't string them together. I mean, we see almost every game. They'll have back-to-back hits, they'll have innings with several, you know, but today they're just not stringing them together.
Maloney made his first appearance last Sunday at YD. A couple earned runs in his 1/3 of an inning, and then a clean inning against Chatham a couple of days later here at Spillane. He'll face 9-1-2 in the Whitecaps order. Drew Farreau, who had that aforementioned home run, coming up for the first time since then. Then Dallas Macias and Ryder Helfrich. Misses for ball 1. Maloney, an interesting career arc. Now going to play ball at the Division II level. Announced just about a month ago he'll be going to Point Loma Nazarene in San Diego. There's ball 2. Started his college career in 2020 at Orange Coast College in California. Mexico State after that, UNLV this year. Driven in the air out to left field. Chase Reinhardt to the gap. That's going to split it and go off the wall. Extra bases for Drew Farreau here as he pulls into second with a leadoff double. Another ball that just keeps carrying and finding the gaps here.
Yeah, it looked like one that was going to hang up long enough for Reinhardt to find it, but just kept going. Wind's pushing out to left.
So back to the top of the order for Dallas Macias. Chance for the Whitecaps to add on. Macias 2 hits already this afternoon. Scored twice. Big lead off of second, and Maloney steps off. First pitch, broken bat, soft flare to right, that's gonna drop in. Wouldn't you know it? Up to third base goes Farreau, he'll stop there. Throw comes in from Turner. Third hit of the game for Dallas Macias, and that's just another example, Kyle.
That just tells the story of this game today. We've had an excuse me check swing, like a swing and bunt turn into a hit.
And that's 4 of those.
And then, yeah, I was going to say a ton of those just doinkers.
So a good start to this 6th inning for Brewster. 2 on and nobody out for perhaps the most feared hitter in the entire Cape Cod League right now, Ryder Helfrich. 2 straight games with a home run now. Grand slam yesterday in the loss to Chatham, and he's got a 2-run shot here. That came back in the 3rd. At the knees for a called strike. So we'll see if Maloney can get out of this jam. Oh, 1. Just off the plate. Same defense for the Gatemen. Reinhardt, Chapman, Turner in the outfield. Gray and Jimenez manning the left side of the infield with Desro and Putnam off to the right. Cueto behind the plate. Putnam holding on the runner at first. Runner delayed steal. Now he'll head back to first base. It was a bluff. Did swing at that one, so it's strike 2. It's a check swing from Helfrich.
Dude, you're up 7. Dude.
Nah, I'd be teased too. I hate when umpires do that shit.
Yeah, but they're gonna mess up.
Maloney's 1-2. Darts inside.
Okay. He probably didn't mean to draw it. Yeah, but what's the point of having these other 2 base umpires if they're not gonna check the swing?
Stand there and look good.
Macias gets off of first. Farrow off of third. 2-2 coming. Runner goes as there's a check swing and foul. Another inside pitch. Macias probably had second base stolen there if he didn't foul that one off.
Yeah, this is a base stealing team, too. I mean, their offense is so lethal in so many ways. It's the pitching that just holds them back.
Two again. In the air, out to left center field. Destined for the gap, it will fall. Extra bases for Helfrich. This will bring home a run, maybe 2. Macias around third. The relay throw from Desro to the plate, not in time. A 2-run double for Ryder Helfrich. His 3rd and 4th RBI of the game and a 9-0 Whitecaps lead.
Well, this kid's lethal. I mean, you cannot leave him anything down the middle, and he has such a powerful swing. He has a real major league swing, too. If you look back at it, his right foot kicks out from behind him because he really rotates that upper torso into the swing, and that thing was drilled.
And that was an off-speed pitch, too. He just stayed on that thing, and he has the strength just to drive it out to left center like he did. That ball could have kept carrying. He decided to hit it to the deepest part of Spillane Field as Caden Kent stands in and swings and misses. Now 29 ribbies for Helfrich on the season. Arkansas has a good one in him. Tough start to this frame for Matthew Maloney. Check swing roller foul.
I thought it was going to happen again.
I think Brendan Summerhill grabbed that foul ball.
Summer resting that wrist right now. I've never seen someone so antsy in my life.
Yeah, I know he's itching to get back out there, and hopefully we'll see him soon. Oh, 2 to Kent. Misses up. There's Brendan Summerhill. How many baseballs does he have in his hand there? 3 or 4?
It looks like 3.
1-2. Check swing in the dirt. He went around, says the home plate umpire. Cueto throws it down to complete the strikeout. And finally, Maloney puts one away.
I mean, if you're Brendan Summerhill, what the heck are you doing right now? Probably seeing how many baseballs he can fit in his hand, I don't know. I've seen different dugout games. They'll see if they can balance a ball on a top step by bouncing it off the cement. Just weird things like that. I bet he's gotten really good at a bunch of weird games right now.
Probably.
He's that type of kid.
Here's Daniel Cuvée at the plate. In the dirt, up the line. Now the throw down to third, runner going. He's out. Helfrich caught getting greedy. Gio Cueto on a ball in the dirt throws him out. That's impressive stuff right there.
Yeah, 5 runners caught stealing for Cueto. Leads the team by a large margin now, and he's only been here for 6 games. So Cueto's a legit defensive specialist.
Keeping our eye on Brendan. He's always keeping the energy up in the dugout, though. Pitch here, smashed in the air. Deep right center field off the bat of Daniel Cuvée at the wall and gone. Second home run of the game for Daniel Cuvée. And we are in run rule territory now. It's 10-0.
I mean, this team is just hitting, and Cuvée is having one heck of a season. Piled off of one great year at Miami. A legit power swing.
Just when you thought Maloney was going to get out of this one, Cuvée says, no, sir. Home run number 2 of the night, both to right and right center field. Distance on this one, 362. Left the bat at 95 miles an hour.
That was a jack.
Home run parade continues for the Brewster Whitecaps on this Saturday night.
That's it.
There's ball 1 to Nick Duminal.
I'm going to tell him he can't hit it.
Still can't hit it.
Yeah, my bad, you're subbing him out of here.
That sounded better than all of them.
Duminal tonight 1 for 3. Waves and misses.
That should not have been a
1 ball, 1 strike count.
No, it wasn't. That was like 40-degree warmth to the backside. That should never be a home.
Maloney induces the ground ball in the hole. Jimenez dives, can't get it. 2 out knock for Nick Duminal. This inning extends for Max Coffer.
Yeah, just continues to pile on. You hit the ball hard, and something's going to happen.
15 hits for the Brewster Whitecaps tonight through 6 innings, not even. First pitch to Coffer's outside. Put him holding on Duminal at first. Still a threat to steal, even with 2 outs. Upstairs 2-0. "21 pitches across this inning for Matthew Maloney. Fouled back.
Especially if it's not spinning. It's only flat.
Oh, yeah, the other kid? They're calling? No,
Maloney ready. The sign from Cueto. Misses up for ball 3. Gatemen have the heart of the order due up. Jimenez, Gray, and Chapman. Wave and a miss, now a full count.
I mean, the wind's just been taken out of their sails. Like, pitching, they're all making competitive pitches, but Brewster's just been ready today.
Three-two pitch, runner goes, swing and a miss. Down goes Coffer to end the frame finally for Matthew Maloney. Not the inning he was looking for. Gives up a couple of big hits. 2-run double for Ryder Helfrich. And a solo shot to Daniel Cuvée. Double digits for the Whitecaps. 10-0 as we go bottom of 6 from Spillane. Gatemen Baseball Network powered by Cape League TV. Let's wind the clock back to those times. You were a pitcher at Wright State. Now, tell me how you got the opportunity to go to Wareham and what that time was like for you.
Well, you know, I had gone out for the Pan American team in '91 just to kind of get my face and name out there nationally. And I made the first couple of rounds of cuts. So all of a sudden, people started to take notice. When I was fighting, I wasn't going to make the team. I was a freshman coming out of Wright State, opened some eyes, but wasn't ultimately going to make the team. So when I get cut, I get a call from Alaska. The two top leagues, the number one was Cape Cod, and then the Alaskan League was a really good league too. But those were the two big ones. I got a call from Alaska. I got a couple calls from the Cape. I got a call from Wareham, and they said, we have a kid that's going back home, and would you be interested? I mean, they didn't even have to finish their sentence, and I was like, I'm packing. I'll be there as soon as I can get my 85 Ford Tempo on the road and up there. So,
did you enjoy that clip? Well, you can catch the rest of this episode and all episodes of Wareham Whip Around, the official podcast of the Wareham Gatemen, available now on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Back at it here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and things aren't looking too good for the Gatemen to this point in the ball game. A 10-0 lead for the Brewster Whitecaps on this Saturday night at Spillane Field. Ethan Eibe here on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV. Kyle Marchak steps away for the moment, but we have baseball analytics intern here, Jack McGough, stepping up to the microphone. It's great to have you, Jack.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. We always have to keep it light, even when things aren't looking too optimistic for the Gatemen at this point in the ball game. We always try to mix things up and have a good time as Antonio Jimenez watches ball 1. Kellen Oakes back on the mound for Brewster, his second inning of relief. Jimenez will be followed by Murph Gray and Reese Chapman. Shows bunt, gets it down the third base line. That one just dies along the line. Picked up by the catcher. Throw to first is wild. Backing up the play, though, is Caden Kent, as Max Coffer's throw was wide left. So Jimenez reaches on what should be a bunt single. Hey, got to get something going, right, Jack?
I think so, yeah. I mean, it is tough. We're in the bottom of the 6th here. We're in run rule territory, which is scary. It's the first time we played them. We did run into that rule. Never want to get that happen to you. But I think we might be able to get something going here. Who knows?
Hey, we got the hottest guy at the plate here in Murph Gray.
He is that dog.
First pitch is flipped foul for strike 1. So tell me about yourself, Jack. Where are you from, and what is your role for the game?
Originally, I'm from Ashland, Massachusetts, which is not too far from here. And now I live in Falmouth, Massachusetts, which is actually even closer. And right now, for the Wareham Gatemen, I do data analytics and advanced scouting for mostly the pitchers. So I give them a rundown on what the opposing team pitchers do. So as we saw, Kellen Oakes, good fastball, pretty straight. Doves hasn't dropped into it, but good slider. I saw good RPMs. That's what I noticed from this guy.
That's great. Taps one foul. It's 0-2. So what's your day-to-day look like? You're obviously looking at the opponent. You have to diagnose the entire staff here, or what's the deal?
Yeah, I mean, every single day there's new guys getting released, so updated rosters come out. We take a look at them, add them to our sheets, Google Sheets, me, Kevin, and our buddy Anthony.
This one's outside. Gray did not go, so still 1-2.
But, yeah, whoever gets activated for a team, we go on and look at their stats on Synergy, which is a application that we use. We look for your pitchers and what their metrics are. Pretty interesting stuff, to me at least.
1-2 on the way. Gray fists this one towards second, picking it up. Kent flips to second. The turn, not in time. Gray reaches on the fielder's choice. Kent nearly able to turn that double play. One gone in the bottom half of the 6th. So how did you get into this? Hold on. First of all, where do you go to school? What year are you? And how did you get into this?
Yes, so I go to Assumption Small School, Worcester, Massachusetts. I played baseball all my life, and I do enjoy math a lot, and I wanted to kind of find a way to group those two things, sports and math, together, and I looked at this, and this was perfect fit. Something I'm familiar with. Kind of familiar with. I mean, I played baseball, but I wasn't great at it. But you don't need to mention that.
Reese Chapman watches strike one. And so you've enjoyed your time here, I take it, working with all these different analytics interns you have?
For sure. Everybody here is a great person, great personalities as well. Great fun to be around.
Outside, 1-1 to Chapman. So, like, day to day, you're working, you said you obviously are looking a lot at these pitchers, so you, I assume, talk every day with Eric Luxus, and you're incorporating the numbers into his game plan. How does that work?
After every single night, after every game, there'll be a pitching report that we have to send out.
Wave and a miss, 1-2 for Chapman.
But that's my contact with Eric. We don't usually talk very often, but we do talk every night, and we send out a pitching report of what our pitchers do, which is pretty interesting in their metrics.
Good, Reese, good.
And he has asked us for some certain things, but not too much, you know. But
okay, it's pretty good stuff right there.
yeah,
And I always appreciate your work too, because we get access to that opposing pitcher scouting report, and
that is what we do.
we love to know a little bit about the guys that we're facing as well. So 1-2 pitch, Chapman skies it in the air, shallow center field, charging in Diamez Ross with a beat, now backing up, makes the catch, and that's out number 2. So how does it work within the baseball operations? Are there interns assigned to do more offensive things? Of course, you're more of the pitching guy. How does that work? How's it split up?
So Kevin Murray is our other intern, and he is in the dugout right now. And so all the statistics that we do and write down on these Google Sheets, he prints them out and has them in the dugout with him. And so whenever a coach needs something, he looks over at Kevin, and Kevin will give him the answer to that question.
So Kevin's the guy, huh?
He is that guy.
So here's Nate Early to pinch hit with 2 gone in the 6th. This one's outside, ball 1. He takes over in the 5 spot, which previously was occupied by the designated hitter Jacob Jarrell. So a simple 1-for-1 swap. He powers one foul. That's what he can do, this guy.
Don't throw that again.
For sure. Looking at some metrics for the hitters, and he definitely has some good slug to him. I think around 500, 536 if I'm not mistaken.
Early a 279 hitter this year. Has a thing for extra base hits as well. And a called strike, 1-2. Gerald at this point was 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. When you're down 10 runs, you want some instant offense. Makes sense. Murph Gray on first base with 2 away. Oates' delivery misses out, squeaks away for a moment. Gray will hold his ground at first base.
I mean, I feel like everybody that you have on, you ask questions about them. Why don't we ask questions about you? You know, I didn't really know you before this, but I got on here and I wanted to ask you a few questions.
This is your opportunity to get to know me?
Yes, exactly.
You've chosen to do it with 2 strikes and 2 outs? No.
Yes. I may be a bit too late, but viewers got to know.
This one fouled off. All right, rattle something off.
Where do you go to school? Where are you originally from? Favorite ice cream?
Good questions. I'll answer them. University of Florida. I'm from Coral Springs, Florida, which is a good hour north of Miami. And my favorite ice cream, I'm a big cookies and cream fan, but low-key, Superman ice cream might be up there as of late. Have you ever had that?
No, I haven't. I actually don't know what's in that. I would love to know. It sounds delicious.
If you go to Nana's Ice Cream Parlor, it's right next to Mark Anthony's in Onset. It is amazing. Cash only, just so you know. But we've been able to go there a couple of times as an intern group, and we've enjoyed some Superman ice cream there. It's not the only place you can get it, of course. It's a fairly common thing. There's a swing and a miss, an awkward one from Nate Early. We'll keep you on, Jack. We've got more to discuss, I believe. So we'll step aside here for the moment. Runner left on in Murph Gray. We'll go to the top half of the 7th here. Brewster up 10-0 on the Gatemen. And now we'll send it down to Madison Walker on the sidelines.
Thank you so much, Ethan. I think that this game might be over sooner than we wanted to if we can't get a couple runs on the board here in the bottom of the 7th. Unfortunately, they do have the run rule here in the CCBL. So we got to root on our team, kind of manifest some good energy, get a different aura going on the field. I'm thinking with Jack on the broadcast, that might happen because, I mean, talking about ice cream, talking about all this good stuff, kind of making me hungry, making me, like, kind of excited and happy. And he also was under the impression that actual Jersey Mike, founder of Jersey Mike's, was on our field earlier. He wasn't. But that's the kind of energy we need. I think that's the positive energy we need. So shout out Jersey Mike's, shout out Jack. Let's get some runs on the board. Back up to you guys in the booth.
All right, thank you, Madison Walker. Yeah, terrific stuff there. We did have that joke running right before the ball game. This is Jersey Mike's night at the ballpark, and the man from the company introduced throughout the first pitch was named Mike, so we figured maybe he was the actual Jersey Mike, but as it turns out, our hopes did not pay off today, Jack.
I was fooled. I thought it was Jersey Mike's, but it wasn't Mike. After all, I did some research, found out Jersey Mike, there is no Mike that owns it. It is Peter something. I don't really know. But it's not Mike, and I'm disappointed in that.
That really doesn't make any sense to me at all, but that's just how it is.
You know, I really thought the founder of Jersey Mike's was going to be in Wareham today. Disappointed.
Unfortunate, but we'll go to the top of the 7th here. It's a 10-0 Brewster lead. This could be the last chance for Brewster to add on. The Gatemen come up empty in the bottom half of the 7th, and that's all, folks, for your Saturday night at Spillane Field. The only game in action tonight across the Cape Cod Baseball League. Everyone else rained out. This team did a terrific job getting the field ready to go today. The coaching staff, the players that were out there working for several hours before the ball game to clear things up and get this field playable, and they did a terrific job. Is Jackson Lucas now on the mound out of NC State? Freshman comes on. Are you a part of the effort to make this field playable today, Jack? Or?
I was actually first base line. That was my job, so that's why they're making all the plays over there.
Well, then we thank you too.
Yes, thank you.
Everyone's always on, all hands on deck. Next time around, I'll go down there with you guys. I'll take the polo off, get the shirts on, and
get real dirty.
Oh yeah,
the gritty way of Wareham.
Oh please, I would love that. As this one's outside. Ball 1 to Diamez Ross, leading things off in this 7th inning. 7, 8, and 9 due up for the Whitecaps. Blake Binder up and Drew Farreau. There's strike 1. 5th appearance for Jackson Lucas. His last time out was great 2 days ago against Falmouth, a clean inning. Poked foul, 1-2. My old role, I spent some time in indie ball in Alpine, Texas, working for a team called the Alpine Cowboys. And whenever there was any sort of rain out or rain delay, I was right out there with them, helping the field out. As there's a cue shot to short. Jimenez slings it to first, and it's barely in time. Nice play there by Antonio Jimenez.
Yeah, it is pretty fun to get out there and, you know, do a little bonding by fixing up the field. I mean, I saw Gavin Black out there fixing up the mound. He did an absolutely great job. I mean, I don't really know how to fix up a mound, but it looked like he knew what he was doing.
These pitchers, they're awfully particular. They need their mound to be a certain way, right?
For sure. I mean, come on.
So here is the 8-hole hitter, Blake Binder up. Takes ball 1 outside. Back in my Alpine days, there would be a large vacuum on the field. We would suck up the water with the vacuum, which, you know, I don't know how effective that actually was, because then we'd have to take the water elsewhere. But at the time, it got things done.
That is very interesting.
I have more to that. You think that's crazy? This one's outside, 2-1. I don't know how happy the Alpine folks are going to be that I'm telling this story, but we used to set the field on fire.
To get it dry?
Yeah, a controlled blaze.
That is crazy.
Desperate times. There's one up the middle. That'll sneak through a base hit. Binder up aboard with one away. We would sprinkle a little bit of, well, gas.
Yep.
On the affected area. Usually no longer than maybe 2 feet wide or something like that. Set that guy on fire and let the flames do the work, drying up the water. Yes, it would be a bit of a charred, a bit of a burnt infield afterwards, and you could definitely smell it in the air, but it got things done. Just some quick dry on that afterwards, and we were good to go.
At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Getting the job done. Being able to play on the field. You know, crisp smell. I mean, who doesn't like that? A little burnt dirt?
Yeah.
Come on.
That's Pecos League baseball for you.
There you go.
Indie ball at its finest. This one popped up foul off the bat of Drew Farreau.
That foul ball, courtesy of attorney Glenn Hennington and his daughter Tennis.
Joined by Jack McGough here on the broadcast, baseball operations intern for the Wareham Gatemen. Count 2-2 to Drew Farreau. The pitch. Rolled over in the hole at second. Desero slides to stop it. Throw to first. Takes putting him off the bag. Fortunate Desero couldn't complete the play. Now first and second for the Whitecaps. It's been just that kind of night for these Gatemen. Close plays like that, lucky hits for the Whitecaps. Of course, the home run ball has been the story, but there's no disregarding that fact as well. 17 hits today for the Whitecaps.
Brutal. Fortunate. I like to see offense, but sometimes it goes for the other team.
So this one down. Check that at the knees for a strike. So what's the goal, Jack? Baseball operations. Do you want to work for a major league team? What do you foresee the next steps being?
Well, to be honest, my major at school is computer science, so I didn't really see myself in the data analytical world. But
over Desero's head, base hit right center field. To third base goes Binder up. He gets the wave around, and he will score. Throw cut off. An RBI knock for Dallas Macias. It's 11-0 Whitecaps. Please tell me your whole life story.
But I knew a guy who pitched for the Hyannis last year, and he knew Eric, and I got in contact with Eric and Ryan, and I asked them, they asked me if I wanted to work for them, and I said yes. That's how it kind of came to be. I didn't really see myself doing this, but I like it, and I'm starting to enjoy it, and it's always fun to love what you do, so.
Absolutely. There's strike one to Ryder Helfrich. Mike Mobbs makes a good point of this. Every single day, you got to find a good reason to get up in the morning, come to the ballpark. There's always something to be positive about. Of course, tonight, not a whole lot to be positive about results-wise, but we're here. We're in the Cape Cod Baseball League. It's a wonderful summer. It's a Saturday night, and it's baseball. You know, sometimes things aren't going to go your way, but there's always something to look on the bright side of. Outside from Jackson Lucas, 1-2. One, two on the way. It's cued foul. Jack, if you haven't gotten the chance to really sit down and talk with Mike Mobbs, I don't know if you've been able to do that, but he is a wonderful conversation.
I saw him cutting the grass today with no shoes on. Really gritty, really Wareham Gatemen kind of way. Bush and mower. I respect it.
It is a really nice pregame ritual for Mike Mobbs to mow the lawn here at Spillane Field. He cuts the grass on the infield barefoot right before every home game. 1-2, once again chopped foul. He says he likes to connect with the earth, and that's why he goes barefoot.
That is one way to connect with the earth, but not me.
No, not for you?
No.
Fair enough, fair enough. There's Mike Mobbs. Does a great job leading these guys on the hitting side. The 1-2. Helfrich watches it out. Jack, I've been asked to ask you about a guy named Rich Stapleton. Is that something you're at liberty to talk about?
No. I got pranked. All right.
This is outside 3-2. The floor is yours.
It was a long story short, but what I can say is that a fellow intern got my number, and I didn't know who they were, and they sent me a text saying they were a certain scout named Rich Stapleton.
This one's outside. Ball 4. I love where this is going. Please continue.
I completely believed it because he asked for some metrics, and they seemed pretty legit. And so I was taking a look at what he was saying, and they were a pretty suspicious way of texting me. Yeah, I didn't catch on, but at the end of the day, I found out it was one of the interns, and it turned into a prank on me. And no, it is what it is.
He got got.
I got caught.
Hate to see it.
Did.
Hey, get your ground ball, Jack.
At the plate now is Caden Kent. That's a great story. It all happens to the best of us, man.
I don't know if I'm gullible. I'm just too trusting. I don't know. I really don't know.
You're far too trusting. This one popped up behind the plate, going after Gio Cueto. He has a beat on it, and he makes the catch. Good play there for out number 2.
At least I wasn't alone. My other intern, Anthony, he definitely got as well, so I'm not alone on the bus.
You're also not alone amongst your own players. I was told a story about how Tate McGuire himself was punked by one of his teammates. I won't say who, because I like these stories and I'd rather keep getting them. But I believe it was on a road trip on the way back after a ball game. He got a text from a number, and it said, hey, come to the bus. It was someone who claimed to be Mike Mobbs. Hey, come to the bus. We need to chat about, whatever. And Tate McGuire goes to the front of the bus as this one skied in the air down the right side, putting him on the move, still going after it, and he can't haul it in. So Tate makes his way up to the front of the bus, and Mike Mobbs is fast asleep in the front seat. And he wakes Mike Mobbs up because he believes that he had just been summoned by his coach. So, of course, and Mobbs turns to him and, what are you doing? What? I didn't call you here.
It's a great impression, by the way.
No, that was not a great impression of Mike Mobbs, but I'll try. So, you're not the only one, is my point, Jack.
It's good. It's good for the team. Makes us feel closer.
Absolutely. As Daniel Cuvée watches one down, it's 2-1. That's the hallmarks of a group that's overall, with the exception of tonight, playing some pretty good baseball right now. They sit atop the Cape League West at 15-7-1, just ahead of the Katuitt Kettleers. There are good vibes across this organization, always in and out of the dugout as Cuvée, a high drive down the right side, going after it, Colby Turner, and the catch made there for out number 3. Loud out number 3 at that. Bases left loaded for the Brewster Whitecaps here in the top of the 7th. It'll be the final opportunity for the Gatemen to crack the scoreboard here coming up in the bottom of the 7th. Jack McGuff, great to have you, my friend. Appreciate you.
Thank you for having me on. Beautiful night for baseball.
This has been fun. Thank you, Jack. We'll go bottom of 7 from Spillane Field here in Wareham, Massachusetts. 11-0 Whitecaps on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
I'm Jesse Simmons.
I'm Braden Sloan.
And this is Catching Up with the Gatemen. May 21st, Big 12 tournament. You, through 4 innings, were able to shut down West Virginia University, and a team that ended up, winning a regional this year, and a team that was very successful, but you were able to lock them down for your team in a crucial situation. There's a video that floated around that you have seen before already that got a lot of views already on social media. Sam White, who happens to be a Gateman teammate now, hit a ball 98 miles an hour back up the middle, and you were able to the little ninja catch it. Looked like a little fight or flight moment.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that, and have you talked to him about that since you've been teammates here?
Yeah, we have. So I was told a day in advance I would be the first one to come out of the bullpen, so I was a little bit ready for it. And it was a big game, so it was exciting, a little nerve-wracking, but ended up luckily being able to do good. And then, first batter of the game was Sam White hitting the line drive right back at me. And he got here, and I was like, hey, I think you were the guy that hit the line drive at me. And he was like, I think I was. So, yeah, it was funny. It was a good little moment to finally meet him and talk to him,
Yeah.
be on the same team for once.
Absolutely. No, I think it's kind of a good way to coexist here in the Cape too.
Yeah.
But we'll go back to that game, so right after the game, I watched the post-game presser. You immediately recognize your faith and how much it means.
Back to action here in the bottom half of the 7th inning in what could be the last stand for the Wareham Gatemen here as we go bottom of 7. It's 11-0 Brewster. The run rule is in effect. 10 after 7 is the mercy rule. So it'll be up to the Gatemen here if they want to keep playing baseball or not. Colby Turner is going to bat first. He'll be followed by Jace Reinhardt, Eli Putnam to follow. Ethan Eibe now rejoined by Kyle Marchak. Great to have you back, my friend.
Well, thank you for having me.
Jack was doing pretty good. I almost fired you.
You know what? Honestly, I wouldn't have been upset. He's pretty funny.
Yeah, Jack McGuff, one of the baseball operations interns for the Gatemen, telling some great stories. Down low, 1-1. A game defined by the long ball for the Brewster Whitecaps. They've slugged 4 of them tonight. 2 of them off the bat of Daniel Cuvée. Ryder Helfrich hitting his 8th home run of the year, and Drew Farreau as well, as Turner flips it foul, 1-2. Cole Lehman got the start today. He went the first 3 innings. He left with a 4-0 deficit, but unfortunately the bullpen unable to pick up the slack as Sam Metter gave up that 3-run shot to Farreau. Then Matthew Maloney had a tough 6th inning, allowed 3 runs there, including Cuvé's 2nd shot.
Here we go, Colby. 2-2 now.
1-2 is down. Anything you got up to in the mix while you were out and about for an inning?
You know, I ate a cheeseburger.
I'm really happy for you.
Lizzie Tassinari, one of our video interns, didn't finish one of hers and said, "Hey, do you want it?" I sat there and I pondered it for a second.
Turner chops one to third, scooped up there. Throw to first in time. Cuvée records the out. You pondered the cheeseburger and you wondered, should I split this cheeseburger with my loving broadcast partner, Ethan Eibe? And then you said no, and I'm not happy about it.
I mean, look, dude, you should have just been there.
Well, I wasn't. I was working, unlike you. Clearly.
Well, I hope you know that it was a really good cheeseburger.
That really does make it so
It
much
hit the
better.
spot.
Really.
So yummy.
Get out. Up and inside. Ball 1 to Jason Reinhardt.
When's
this
last
is
time?
Michael Lippy, actually. My mistake.
When's the last time you ate today?
I ate breakfast, and I had a Kind bar as a snack. That's about it, buddy.
Kind bar when?
Maybe 3 hours before first pitch.
Okay. And it's been a little over 2 hours since. So it's been 5 hours since you had a Kind bar.
Yeah. Now you're really reconsidering that, aren't you?
I feel bad for you.
That was my goal. Guilt tripping you as Michael Lippy fouls it back. It's 2-1.
And you know what? That's what we do as broadcasters. Not the guilt tripping part, but, conveying things in a way that expresses emotion.
Food does express many emotions in both of us.
Yes, it does.
And if you haven't checked out the latest episode of Gateman Grubs, be sure to do that on the Gateman Baseball YouTube page. Shameless self-promotion. 3-1 to Lippy.
Shaved ice this past time over at Falmouth.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
It was really good, in my opinion.
You know why it was good? It was served in a little souvenir helmet.
You've been looking for those.
Yes, I have. And shout out to the Commodores for having that. Wave and a miss, 3-2 to Michael Lippy. Now, you go to a ballpark, a major league ballpark, and you get the soft serve ice cream that they serve in their souvenir batting helmets, and it just tastes that much better. It's like plus 10 taste points simply because it's in a helmet. As there's a swing and a miss for strike 3. Lippy down for out number 2. I've made it a point, wherever I've gone, major league ballpark wise or at some spring training parks in Florida, collect as many of those souvenir helmets as I can. So shout out to Falmouth for adding to the collection yesterday.
Do you wash them after?
Well, yes.
You sounded uncertain
At first I wash them, I wash them down. Because
Right.
you eat the ice cream.
Yes.
You clean that off. As this one pulled towards short off the bat of Eli Putnam, bobbled at shortstop by Drew Farreau. The E6 results in a 2-out base runner for the Gatemen. Team down to their final out right about now. It's 11-0 Brewster.
The catcher, number 17, Gio Cueto from
But yes, like
Wisconsin.
after, take him home, give him a little rinse out, and then throw them on the shelf, and there they go with the others.
How many do you have?
I have probably 15 at least. Not like 15 individual teams. Some I'm double counting. Because I have a couple Marlins ones. I have 3 Marlins ones, as a matter of fact. As Gio Cueto down the right field line, that'll go foul. I have a black one. I have a blue one, the current color scheme, and then I have a teal one from their Throwback Fridays they used to do last year. Got myself a nice Florida Marlins ice cream helmet, so that was nice.
Okay.
Do you have any?
No.
You don't even have a Phillies one?
I think I did as a kid, but no longer within my possession. Couldn't tell you where it went.
That's unfortunate. I do not yet have a Boston Red Sox one, and seeing as how we're only an hour from Fenway Park, that is going to happen at some point this season.
Fenway Park.
That's how Mark Wahlberg says it, so that's how I'm going to say it.
Fair enough.
Been lucky enough to go there a couple of times this summer, so really wonderful. Great place to take in a ball game. So much history there. 2-1 to Cueto. Gatemen down to their final out here with the run rule in effect. Brewster up 11. This is still Kellen Oates on the mound. He's been out there now since the 5th inning. Put him at first. Reached on the 2-out error. And Cueto a drive out to left center field. Going after it, Diamez Ross, and he runs it down to put this ball game to bed. The Gatemen run ruled at their own house here on a Saturday night, 11-0. These Brewster Whitecaps today were just too much to bear.
Yeah, well, they jumped on them early, and we see with most cases, you start early, and if you maintain that pace, it can become lopsided quickly, and it just wasn't their day on either side of the ball.
4 home runs for the Whitecaps on this Saturday night. 1 for Ryder Helfrich, his 8th home run of the season. Ties him atop the Cape League leaderboards. 2 more for Daniel Cuvée, his 5th and 6th bombs of the season, a 3 RBI day for him. Both to the opposite field, out to right. And then what really was the dagger in that 4th inning. You had a 4-0 deficit to work with, made it 7-0 off the bat of Drew Farreau. His 3-run shot came off of Sam Mettert. Looking around the Gateman side of the offense, Destro had a hit today. Reese Chapman had a double. Eli Putnam a base hit. Only 4 hits today, all told, for the Gateman offense. That was just shut down by Ryan Urey and Oates as well.
Yeah, again, just not their day. A team that usually when they attack early are able to find some base hits, but weren't making clean contact and not hitting them to the right parts. Luck wasn't on their side either.
Just one of those ones that you just got to flush down and come back tomorrow and just play the baseball that we know that they can play. I mean, we just saw it yesterday after a couple of tough losses. They've now lost 3 in a row at home, by the way, which is quite shocking to say the least.
Yeah.
Over at Falmouth yesterday, played a great game of baseball in all facets. Today, obviously, not the case. So just have to come back tomorrow and do it again.
Yeah, they'll run it back, and we've talked about it a ton this past week. This is a team that wants to win.
Tomorrow it'll be the Harwich Mariners on the road. A 5:30 start time from White House Field. So until then, we'll say goodbye here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. The final score, one more time, 11-0. Brewster with their 2nd run rule victory over the Gatemen this season. Brewster improves to 10-13, and the Wareham Gatemen fall to 15-8-1. On behalf of everybody involved with this broadcast on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV, our producers Allison DeWitt and Joseph Patrick Henry, our sideline reporter Madison Walker, and my broadcast partner Kyle Marchak. Stay tuned for the Gatemen Baseball Network postgame show. Be available on our YouTube channel by the end of the night. Interviews from Madison and a conversation between Kyle and I as well. Final score one more time, 11 runs on 19 hits, 1 error for the Brewster Whitecaps, and the Gatemen blanked on 4 hits. We'll talk to you tomorrow, 5:30 first pitch from White House Field. The Gatemen take on the Harwich Mariners. We'll see you tomorrow on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.